Hey, this is Ken again, back with you from Ken Small Church Tech, and today I have just received in the mail a new product that I will be reviewing, and I'd like to show you what it looks like. I haven't pulled it out of the box yet, so let's do an unboxing quick and see what it has. This is the Tenveo. This is a 1080p full high definition 60 frames per second AI PTZ camera with the 1080p optical zoom, Sony sensors, plug and play, smart autofocus. It's got NDI, and I'm not sure what all else it has. So let's open this up quick. All right, well, you can obviously see it's got NDI. One of the first things in here is the NDI Tools Guide, which is great. I'll talk more about that as I get that hooked up at church. So I'm at my house at the present time, opening this up, and like I said, I'll take this to church and do a full review using the system there. Fairly simple user manual. So we'll see what that can do for us. Here, if we need assistance, how to get the assistance, which is great. That's super. IP search tool, if you need to find your IP, and there's other ways to do that, but that's a good way to do it. Big foam. Here's the camera. Pull this out here. This is going to be all the peripheral stuff. All right, that's quite a bit of stuff here. All right, so we got some installation screws. There's a USB. All right, here's our power supply. Comes with a wall mount and a remote. So looking good there. I'll move that over to the side. And then we have the camera itself. Pull it up out of here. All right. And I'm going to get rid of this box. All right, here's the camera. All right, so we have the Tenveo camera, and again, you don't want to move this too much by hand. There are gears in there, obviously, if it's going to be controlling it. We have a cover for the lens. Comes with a little bit of a support bracket or support in there. We'll just leave that in there for now. And let's see what we got on the back here. All right, so we do have audio inputs. So this doesn't come with a microphone. It does have audio line in and line out. So you can connect it that way. And coming down here, we got the LAN, which is going to be my primary way of controlling this. It does have SDI capability, HDMI, USB output. So all of these are for outputs. We can control it through the network also. And again, that'll be the way I do this. We do have other inputs for serial inputs, 232 and 45, and these are also for control of the system. We got power in and a power switch. That's got a lot of options. It does also advertise, like I said, as NDI, and I will be using NDI at the church once we get there. So this is a fairly heavy, fairly robust camera with a much smaller footprint than some of the other ones I've worked with, but yet it's a 20, I believe it's a 20x camera on here. So that's what I wanted to show you here, just the unboxing. We will take a look at that more once we get it to church, and we will start connecting it up. So the way I'd look at using this is I would probably put this up towards the back. I like the idea of being able to get the audio, or actually get the video through NDI off of here. But because at our church we have an A10 Mini Extreme, there's no NDI capability into the A10 Mini Extreme. If you look on one of my other videos, I talk about using an adapter to go from NDI to HDMI and bringing it into the A10 Mini Extreme through one of the HDMI inputs. And that works really smoothly. I've done it, I've been doing it, and I've done it before. I've got another video out on that. I'm doing that with another camera. But that's one way to do it here. I can also have this a little bit closer, running HDMI directly to it with a short HDMI cable. I can run fiber optic HDMI cable through this to the computer, to the A10 Mini Extreme. If you have SDI, like I have on one of my switcher that I'm actually using right here, I have SDI, so you can plug in SDI to get that video, but you still need to have some kind of a control system, which would be the network. So there's multiple different ways to control this, to run this, and I will be showing you as many of those as I can. And again, the one thing I don't do and I won't use is the serial ports. So there you go, Tenveo, 1080p, NDI, SDI, HDMI, USB camera. Well, if you're still watching and are still liking this video, please subscribe, like, share, and leave comments and let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you see something that doesn't look right, so I can investigate what's going on. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so here we are at church, sitting in my booth that I've showed several times with other cameras and other pieces of equipment, and right now we are showing the Tenveo, and this is the VX20M-N. So the VX20M-N, the N I'm assuming is NDI, which this one is a NDI camera. We'll show that part of this later, but I just want to show you some of the just some quick views of how this looks. This is actually sitting right here in front of me, and about 5 feet away. Great video right here, and it is also running through the system. So what this is going through is my audio is going through the ProFX audio switcher, excuse me, the audio mixer. That's going into the A10 Mini Extreme. This is coming into the A10 Mini Extreme also, and so you can see just how close to synced it is based on what we have and what we have been doing up to this point. So this is actually very easy to do. I've already got it connected with our PTZ controller. So we're using a Fumaco PTZ controller. Once I had the IP address, I was able to add that right in, did a search on here, found it, add it right in, and it is now just as nice as can be being controlled via Visca over IP with this particular controller. It should be able to work with any controller that you happen to have. This is a great camera for adding to your system. So I have now Fumaco cameras, I have a Tenveo camera, I have 2 AVPOS cameras. They're all working on this same system. They're all working with the same controller because it's kind of the same thing for all of them. They're all working Visca over IP, and it's just simple as can be. So this is nothing new here. I'm going to turn this around and we're going to get some longer views and take a look at this. Right now, this is actually coming through a 150-foot fiber optic HDMI cable. So that's what I have it connected to. I'm going to roll this out, run it over to the other side of the building. It's also is working PoE. I can't use the PoE where I'm running this because I don't have a cable long enough to do that, which is fine. I'm going to connect it using the power supply that it came with, and that way we can take a look at this from a little bit farther away and do some tracking and checking out some of the other videos, capabilities of this as we go. So like I said, working really well, easy to set up, easy to connect with what we already have going. And now, like I said, I'm going to change the direction of this, and I'll be right back with some additional look at what it's doing for me. So where we are at now is we're all the way in the back corner of the church, as far back as I can get it. We're still running off the 150 feet of fiber optic cable, even though we're probably only about 75 feet from the 75 to 100 feet from the altar. And I'm zoomed in at the present time. Let me back out just to kind of show you how far back we are. There you go. So we're all the way in the back corner, and you can see the front. Now I'm using my controller, or I can use the remote that comes with this PTZ camera to set up the presets. So right now I'm setting a preset, and I'm going to set this as preset number 5. I've already got preset number 3, and you can see it moving in. Preset number 3. I'm going to zoom in and a little bit more to the middle here. And that's going to be preset 2. And then all of my cameras are set up. Preset 1 is on the pulpit right there. So we'll set that as preset 1. And we'll go with that. So what we have now, if I call 2 or 4, 5, there we go. I guess I didn't do preset 4. Preset 3. Preset 2. And so you can see this sets up really nicely. I'm running my video through the HDMI cable. I am doing I got a network cable going there from a different location that I can't get power over Ethernet, at least not good power over Ethernet at that location. So I'm using the power supply that came with the camera. So if you have good PoE, PoE plus, whatever, you can run this thing with one cable if we do NDI. But we're using the HDMI cable. This is working great. So right now, I do not have auto tracking on. You can see it showing the front of the church. I'm going to turn it on from the side over here. Okay, that's using the remote. It should be on. It's still looking. Okay, now it's gone all the way to the back. So let's see if it picks me up and starts tracking me. And it appears that it has. If I move closer, it's going to keep on tracking me. Okay, so it's tracking. As soon as it picked me up, as I came across the altar, if I bring it over here and I turn it off simply by pushing the auto track button or the AI button. So here we have an NDI look right now. So it's set up running NDI. I don't have the HDMI cable connected anymore to that camera, to the VX20M. And this is now an NDI picture of the front of the camera, of the front of the church. Now I have 2 NDI cameras. Both of them are attached to my Zowie decoder, which is then going into the HDMI inputs on the ATEM Mini Extreme. So if I go to my Zowie control on web control, I can choose which camera I am seeing through NDI. So this should switch over to the other MDI camera, which it did. It's a little bit further to it's actually right above me in my AV booth. And I can then switch back to the to this camera, the Tenveo camera, and it's now showing you video from the Tenveo camera. So this is now the NDI camera. Now if I want to switch this up and use it as a, this just allows me another control or another input to an HDMI by using that Zowie-Tech decoder. So that's the reason I use that. If I had a switcher that had NDI inputs, I could just simply go to the NDI input. Now I can also use this NDI from this camera by using the NewTek, the NDI tools from NewTek that you get a little pamphlet for in the box also. And I can go to a laptop, to a iPad. There's several different ways to do that, and we can do that at some other time. But I just wanted to show you the NDI input is looking pretty nice. And depending on your controls, you can go faster or slower. So I'm going to call a little bit different location here. And again, the video is coming through NDI. It's not coming through HDMI. It switches over to HDMI when it gets to my booth here and the Zowie-Tech decoder. So, all right, here I'm back, and now I'm set up. I'm being recorded directly off the camera that we're talking about today, and that's the Tenveo VX20M-N. It is a NDI, SDI, HDMI camera, and right now we are using the HDMI portion of it. Now it is actually being powered by power over Ethernet coming through a PoE switch, and so it doesn't require me to put the power supply up here, and so it's been working really well without that. I do have it connected to my network, as I showed you before. That was one of the first things I did with it. So I'm going to switch over to my laptop. Go to number 3 there. There we go. And I'm going to plug in my 206. All right. So I'm going to plug in my login for the PTZ camera. And when you get it, you'll see that it is a admin is the default. All right, once you're logged in, what you get is a picture of whatever the camera's looking at. On the right-hand side, you'll see that it's got the PTZ controls. Since I have it plugged in, you can see that the PTZ controls do work. Or you can just kind of go like this. That's the home button in the middle. You can go to presets. So I can go to, I got 9, that's where I'm going to go to, and I'm going to call that. So you can operate the whole thing directly off of your laptop, first of all. So this is just the web interface for it. Here's where you're going to set up the IP address if you haven't already. You can set up NDI settings if you want. You can set system settings to adjust from there. You can bring up just the image, and you can control what the image is doing for you. And I'm going to grab my mouse here because it's a little bit easier for me to scroll down on the page. All right, so you can scroll down on the page if I want to. One of the things that I did almost immediately was turn off the tally lights. So let me see if we can show you what that looks like. If we come over here to my other camera and bring that over here. All right, so here's the other camera. You can see how it's looking. This is the Tenveo camera directly above me here, or right above me here. And if I turn the tally lights back on, you can see there's a light on the back and there's a light on the front. So it's kind of annoying when you're trying to keep them incognito and don't need to have people looking at them. We're not worried about tally lights, so you can turn those off. Go back to here. You can turn those tally lights on and off right down here and this is on the home page. So not the image page, but the home page. Come down here, and this is why I need the mouse, so it can scroll down a little bit, and then just turn off the tally lights, and then you can come back here and you can see that there's no light on there. If you use tally lights, they're great. There it is. You can figure it out yourself. So let me come back. So this is where, again, you're going to set up what you want to do. You can control it from here if you want. So if you don't have a PTZ controller like I have here, I have everything set up here. So I already got the presets put in here, and presets are very easy to do. You can either do them again on here. You can set up your presets, and you can see right here is where you do that. So I've selected and I have these presets in here, 1, 2, 3, and then an 8 and a 9 because there's things that we don't ever use, but I can put them in here. Those presets are saved in the cameras. So no matter what camera you have, if you put presets in, those presets are saved to the cameras. All of our presets, or all of our cameras that we use here, we have 2 that are being used more all the time now. I'm getting ready to put a second one or a third one up, but they all have the same presets so that anytime you go to the front of the church, they're going to go to the same place. So using this particular camera, I can go to preset 1, which is the podium. I can go to preset 2, which is a widescreen of the front, and preset 3 is a close-up of the altar itself. And those are 3 that we use on a regular basis. We use other ones depending on what's going on around us, but those are the 3 main ones. And again, this is actually just looking. What you're seeing is just looking through the live in the actual picture, or the web interface coming through my camera 4, which is the NDI camera. So any of my NDI cameras I can swap over using that Zowie box, and they can all go into here at the same time. So there it is. So that's the NDI view. Now you can see that the NDI view is no different than the HDMI view, which I can bring up on camera 2, and I'm going to switch back. It's exactly the same. So there's nothing new here. It's moving at pretty much the same pace. There's no lag versus the HDMI. It's coming through here pretty nicely. So NDI works really nice. SDI can be done the exact same way. SDI from the camera to an SDI switch or a decoder to the HDMI into the 810 Mini Extreme. All right, thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. I know it's a long one, but I appreciate you watching it. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave comments. Let me know what you're thinking. And until next time, God bless and have yourself a good day.